Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to cover two big subjects that I've had a lot of questions about. Now, the first one is going to be the withdrawal process of how you get your money out of TopStep. And number two is how do you work out your contract sizing when placing a trade. So we're going to make this nice and quick and we're going to kick things off with taking a payout. So first of all, you can see that my current balance is $5,000. So I'm up 5,000 on my funded account. Now, number one thing that you have to remember when taking a payout is that TopStep will set you back to zero after your first payout. Now, what that means is that your maximum loss limit will be set to zero. So if we go back to my account, we can see that my maximum loss limit is already zero. So if I take an entire $5,000 payout, that means I won't have any margin left within my funded account in order for me to take any drawdown. So for example, if I take a $5,000 payout and I leave $22 in my account, that means next trade that I take can only go $22 in the red before my account is shut down. So that means I've essentially blown the account. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to take the entire balance that you've accumulated as a payout. You always want to keep a buffer. Now, I recommend that you go with the maximum loss limit that they give you when you first get the account. Now that is going to be $3,000. So for me, I'm going to do a payout of $2,000 today, and I'm going to leave $3,000 in my account, even though I don't generally risk too much on this account. So if we go over and take a look at my dashboard, we can see that it is super clean. It's just a steady growth. I'm not risking too much. My average winning days are $487. And this week I've made 1,596. Now, again, I'm a very conservative trader. I do not like to over risk. So every position that I get into, I'm staying at the minimum contract. So I'm in with one contract and I'm riding this for as long as I can, or I'm quickly in and out with my position. So I've got a 79% win rate. My average losing trade is going to be $176. My average winning trade is going to be $194. So I'm not risking too much and I'm only walking away as soon as I've made some profit, because I don't need to over leverage. I don't need to over risk. As soon as I've got some profit, if I can make $200 a day. Now, that's way more than I would get at a normal day job. And I'm just doing that by sitting at my computer screen. So having said all of that, we've got a payout of we've got a balance of $5,000 in my account. Now I'm going to be taking a $2,000 payout. So we come up here, we click this and we go on to payout request. So once we do that and we come over to the screen, you're going to have two options. Once it loads, you're going to see a Wise and a bank transfer. So Wise is just an online transfer. I do have a Wise account, so that means it's easier for me to take Wise payments. And then a bank transfer, now this usually takes quite a lot of time if you're an international person. For me, I live in the UK. And since TopStep is an international company, they're based in the US, it would take 5 to 10 business days for me to get a payout. Whereas with Wise, it's relatively quick, receive payouts within 1 business day. So I'm going to be going with Wise. So as we can see, we've got all of my information already put in there. And before you actually go ahead and request your very first payout, there's one thing that you do need to do. If this is your very first payout, you need to upload a W-8 form. Now, if you're not in the US, this is the form that you're going to have to click on, fill out and submit. If you're in the US, you're just going to have to fill this form out. If you're watching this video, you're probably not from the US, you're probably from the UK. So once you click on this, it's going to take you to the W-8 Ben form. Now, that in itself is a whole nother video because there's so many different things that go into it. How to find it, you have to go and find the US and UK tax treaties, find which article states that you don't need to be taxed based on what you earn in the US because you're not a resident there. But that's a whole nother video. If you want me to make a video on uploading and completing your W-8 Ben form, then let me know down in the comment section and I can make that very, very soon. So once you've put all of your details in, making sure that you've got your correct Wise account email. If you don't have one, then click there and just make an account. It's super simple. Put how much you want to take as a payout, choose your currency, and now you just want to make sure that you tick these required boxes. Now, the requirements in order for you to get a payout is that you need to have 5 winning days with a net profit and loss of $200. So it doesn't mean that they have to be consecutively one after the other. They can be staggered. They can be one after the other. They can be 1 winning day today, 2 losses tomorrow, 1 winning day the day after. But as long as you have 5 winning days with a net profit and loss of $200 or more, that is counted, and you just need 5 of these. Once that's done, you just can't take a payout of more than 50% of your current account balance. Now, That is a very good rule in itself because you shouldn't be taking more than 50% of your account balance unless you've racked up like $20,000 in your account. Then yeah, by all means, take more than 50%. But I always said that you should keep a buffer, and I always like to keep a buffer of $3,000. And last but not least, you just need to tick these last two boxes, and that is, I understand going forward, my account cannot go below zero. We don't want that anyway, because if it does, you're going to blow your account. And number two, I understand that profits need to be transferred out of my account, blah, 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 blah. Essentially, meaning if you take a payout today of $2,000 and you take a trade straight after you've requested a payout, and that trade wipes off $3,000 from your balance, they're not going to give you a payout because it's not going to be counted, right? So you can't have your account balance go below 50%. So if you're requesting a withdrawal of 2,000 like me, and let's say I take a trade straight after this withdrawal and I lose $2,000, well, they're not going to pay me $2,000 because I only have $3,000 in my account, and I would go over 50% of my withdrawal request. So essentially, if you request a payout, don't bother trading afterwards. Just wait for that payout to come in. But once all of that is done, super simple, you hit submit, that's it. So your payout request was successfully submitted. Confirmation email is going to be sent, and it takes around 1 to 3 business days for you to get your payout. But I'll keep you guys updated with if and when I get my payout. If you want to know when I get my payout, then I would highly suggest clicking that link down in the description and joining my Telegram, which is completely free, by the way, so that you can be up to date with exactly what it is that I'm doing, and you can see exactly what we do inside of the VIP group, because we're hitting TPs near enough every single day. But enough of that, let's move on to the next topic, which is going to be how to figure out your contract sizing when placing a trade. Now, I've had a lot of questions about this from every single person that I know, and to be honest, it is relatively simple, and it's the same as when you trade Forex. When you first start figuring out your lot sizes, you have to take a bit of getting used to, but after a while you can just do it off the top of your head. It's the same with this. It's going to take a bit of understanding, but once you understand it, it's relatively simple. So first things first, you need to find out what instrument it is that you're trading. So let's take an example of today's trade, which is this trade that we took inside of the VIP group. So this was a short on the Dow Jones. Now, the Dow Jones is going to be YM, the ticker symbol on TopStep. So once we know that, we're going to click on YM right here on the CME Group website, because this is where your data feed comes from. And on here, we can see that each index point is going to be $5, right? So once we understand that each index point is going to be $5, we come here and we can see that this is 31 index points. So essentially what you're going to do is you're going to go into your calculator, take 31 index points, and you're going to times that by 5, because that is going to be one contract. So that works out to $155. So if you put one contract on the Dow Jones, short in that position that I just showed you, with a index point stop loss size of 31, you're going to lose $155 if it hits your stop loss. So now that is with one contract. What if you wanted to, I don't know, risk $1,000? You're simply just going to up your contract sizing, right? So if we do 155 times 6, you're going to get 155 times 6, you're going to get $930. So if you wanted to risk $1,000 on this trade, then essentially you're just going to put 6 contracts on. If you only wanted to risk $300, you're going to put 2 contracts on, right? Nice and simple. The Dow Jones is pretty simple. However, if we move on to Nasdaq, it's going to get a little bit more technical. So again, let's take an example. So this is a trade again that we took inside the VIP group today. So if we take this trade as an example, we can see that the stop loss size is 24 points. So we come over to the CME group, we type in NQ, which is the ticker symbol, and we click right here. Once we do that, we're going to see that each 0.25 index point equals a $5 move. So now with 24 points as your stop loss size, you're going to take 24 and you're going to divide it by 0.25. Now this is going to give you 96, and then you're going to take 96 and times that by 5, because that's how many index point it is to your stop loss. And once you times that by $5 per index point, you're going to get a grand total of $480. So if I took this Nasdaq short with one contract and hit my stop loss, it would mean that I would lose $480. It's pretty simple once you understand it. Yes, it's going to take a calculator at first so that you can really dial in on exactly what it is that you're doing. But once you understand it, it's going to be like second nature, and you're going to be able to work out all of these contract sizings. So the last one is going to be SPY. So again, nice and easy. We're going to take this trade that I took today as an example. So as we can see, the stop loss size is 2 points. So what we're going to do is come over to the CME group again, and we're going to type in ES, which is the ticker symbol for the S&P 500. And once we do that, it's going to show us that every 0.25 index points, you're losing or gaining $12.50. So with this being a 2-point stop, as you can see right there, what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 and we're going to divide that by 0.25, which is going to give us 8. So we're going to take 8 and we're going to times that by 12.50, which is going to give us $100, which means if this trade right here hit my stop loss, then I'm going to lose $100. Now, if I wanted to again risk 1,000, I'm just going to chuck 10 contracts on this trade, and that would mean that I've 100 times 10 equals 1,000. So that pretty much wraps up this video. So by now you should know exactly how you're going to withdraw from your TopStep account and what buffer to keep, and also how to work out your contract sizing when it comes to placing a position on TopStep. So if you guys have any questions, then feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. But apart from that, if you enjoyed the video, then let me know by liking, commenting, and subscribing. But on that note, I'll catch you guys in the next video.